All right, it is Friday night, February 6th, 2026. We had a massive day today. One of those days where you're not sure if it's going to get off to the best start. We were up at 8 today because we ended up staying up super late last night handling, I don't want to say menial tasks, but not like lever moving tasks, but stuff that had to get done that would have been detrimental if they had seeped into the day today. So ended up being worth it to stay up till 11:30, 12, a little bit past 12 by the time I actually got to sleep last night. So ended up waking up at 8 today and not super sharp in the morning. Like usually when I'm sleeping in and waking up around 8, like I'll wake up, get on the computer, be super sharp, and then just ultra dialed in and get a lot of stuff done like very fast. Today was not one of those mornings, and I had a very specific output that was in mind, and that was to build the hiring funnel. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I actually have it pulled up in the other room right here. I'll show you in a second. But it was not off to a good start. Like I couldn't think straight. I was working faster and better under a time crunch of like 1 hour a couple of Mondays ago on this project. And I know you have like the entire morning to work on it this time and nothing else to do. Well, definitely other stuff to do, but like nothing else scheduled to do. And I wasn't performing up to standard, so I was starting to get a bit frustrated. Went for a walk. It's been like my big solve when things get tough is I'll just go for a walk with this little notebook right here and no phone, and I will just go out, solve the problem, clear my head, because it usually brings us back to reality. But I want to show you what we built today a little bit. This will be kind of hard on like the front camera, but basically on our ClickUp right now we have a ton of different segments. We have delivery, we have our operating system, which is like all our SOPs and stuff, our CRM, my personal tasks, and then this new one down here, which is talent. So this is just built out as of today. We listed stuff, and now in the master hiring funnel, we have 17 people who are in here. So we go to this master hiring funnel, you'll see all the people who applied today. I probably shouldn't just like show that. So I'm gonna click off of that quickly. But basically we have a ClickUp dashboard. I'm like kind of viewing over here to see like if we can't see anything, but basically it's a ClickUp dashboard where we have a ton of different applications at the top. So let's see if I can probably show these. So these are all of our different like applications: video editor application, post-production manager application, social media manager application. All of our applications are in here. And then if you apply to this, it then gets you onto the board, and it shows, you know, email, phone number, location. I always have everybody do a video, like a 60-second video, showcasing just like why they think they'd be a good fit for the job. Mainly to me, it's just to see like the energy and how much thought somebody has put into the video and how much they care. So, because like even if somebody is a bit shy and they don't want to get on video, if they really want the role, like you'll film a video. And sometimes like I've watched enough of them where I feel like I can tell pretty well if someone's like they're I don't believe what's about to come out of my mouth next, but just like being able to tell if somebody's a good person. So I take that back. But just being able to feel the energy on someone if they're genuine or not. And then after you see that video, looking at the feed and then thinking like, okay, do I want to talk to this person on Zoom and get to know them a little bit more or not? So that was the huge thing today. So basically created all the job listings, created all of the application form fields, created all of the automations and logic behind the ClickUp board so that everything could populate out of here. So basically I could just go blast the applications and forms everywhere. And then no matter where you heard it from, it would come onto this ClickUp board right here. So then now my workflow is like, all right, well, let's filter this by new. And this is going to show nothing, because if I filter by status, new, there will be nothing here because I just cleared all of them. So I'll go in at the end of the day and then just message everybody with email. It's a templated email. I'll just send it out at the end of the day, and then schedule meetings to interview on Fridays. In this case, I'm doing it on Monday as well because it is Friday, and I would hate to have people just like, you know, wait another week. So you got to be fast on talent. Those are two things I learned from the acquisition.com workshop. One, during the presentation about hiring people, is that you want to treat talent, like people that will come in and work for you, like you would treat leads. So like text them fast, get them on a call, court them. Like we don't want, like so many people, myself included up until this point, would just like think that the applicants would need to just flock to me, and then they should they should cater to me, as opposed to like, we want the best people on our team. So if someone's the best person, I should be treating them like I would if they were a huge client, like taking care of them, messaging them quickly, booking a call as quick as we can, trying to get them onboarded. So that was one thing I learned. And the second thing was to always be interviewing, always be hiring, no matter what. Even if your team is full, you want to be able to always be interviewing. Ed Turney, the workshop operator at Acquisition, he told me always be interviewing on Fridays, because it does three things. Number one is it shows your team like, hey, we're not fucking around. Like, we have people that are coming in, and someone's gonna be ready to come and take your lunch if you start lacking. And that's just, it's not to create a toxic culture, but to create a culture of like, hey, like, we are excellent and we will have excellent people here. Number two is you might find a unicorn in the mix. So even if you're not actively hiring and you find a unicorn, you bring that unicorn onto your team and give them a spot. And number three is when it is time to hire for that role, you've now interviewed 100 people over the past couple months, and now you can go back to the cream of the crop that you did interview and be able to bring people on just like that. So those are two things I learned about hiring from that workshop, and now we're putting it into action right here. We're actively hiring for a post-production manager, so someone to review videos, send those videos into clients, keep the editors on track for deadlines, potentially even edit a couple videos as well if we get into crunch mode. We're hiring for content scriptwriter to take viral ideas, turn them into filmable scripts. We're hiring for a social media manager to write the captions, post across all platforms for clients, and then report back on the data. And we're also hiring always for video editors. So those are all the ones that went out today. So it was a really big day of deep work. That was like 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Was doing that. And then we had a lot of tasks and stuff that were going on today, but no calls, so got a lot done. 5 reach outs, mainly follow-ups to high quality prospects that are in our pipeline right now. Set up an onboarding. We actually did sign another contract today for a new client, 15 videos per month. Very excited to start working with him. We had 2 calls, did a trial project, and he's on board now. I think we'll be an excellent client and we're gonna crush it. Got another onboarding scheduled for Monday. Just did some mobility work today because tomorrow we've got an insane workout. I think tomorrow's probably the hardest workout I've done in any of my running training. Like, we've had races that where you're working harder, but technically this is I'm set to break PRs in the freaking workout tomorrow. It's 5 miles easy, and then 6 miles at I'm gonna get close, but might miss a couple by a couple seconds. But 6:20, 6:05, 5:50. It's mile by mile. 5:45, sub 5:40, sub 5:40 is the goal, and it's kind of my test for my coach to see where we're at, because we want to do a sub 1:15 half marathon in now a month and a half. So it's it's crunch time. So I'm gonna actually go and do a track tomorrow as opposed to just running around the neighborhood, because I want to get that workout in on a flat surface, because we got six miles in a row of speed. So just mobility today. Deep work, we went over that a ton. Went over a couple different lessons. I had about hiring people. This is another lesson about profit that I learned. There was actually a Hormozi workshop today as part of the Scale Advisory Group. I only popped on for 5 minutes, and these are some of the notes that I took. But there's a meta lesson on top of this as well, which we'll get into in a second. So we have the people lessons and the profit lessons right here. The lesson that I learned from being on this Zoom for 5 minutes was that profit is unnatural and we must will it into existence. Most business owners are broke. It's an ego thing where you have all these locations, you have all these employees, you have all this inventory, you have all these products and all this shit, but not actually making a ton of money. I personally like to make money, and I want to learn how to do that at the highest level. I think I fall into the ego drop from time to time where you think oh yeah, I'm just investing back into business. I'm just investing back into the business. It's important to understand what's actually investing back into the business and getting a return versus what is mental masturbation of just thinking that you're investing back into the business and feeding that message to your ego, as opposed to realizing that you're actually just not making money. So there's definitely a line in between the two of them. There's investing back in your business, which is 100% necessary, and then I'm just not making money and I'm disguising it so my ego can stay intact as investing back into the business. That's the ego one. Software was one of the bullet points that I put right here. Hormozi said, if you had to evaluate every person that's coming into your business as an employee, the same way that you would evaluate paying $5,000 extra per month, let's say that's a $5,000 employee, as you would paying $5,000 a month for software, you'd evaluate it a little bit differently. So he's saying like if I'm gonna hire somebody $1,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, I would have to evaluate that person for the same, like put them on the same continuum as I would put $5,000 a month software. Like you'd ruthlessly investigate a $5,000 a month software, but with people it's just like, oh yeah, I'll bring another warm body and solve the issue. So that's the second bullet point. And the third one is the fastest way to make more money is to spend less money. It's to lower the cost of goods sold. And if that's, service like agency, then I guess lowering the amount of payroll, lowering the amount of softwares, lowering the amount of expenses. So those are the two things. But the meta lesson right here is like, I'm learning a ton, applying a ton. When I wasn't, I was learning from all sorts of different sources. And all this stuff is right. To be fair, you could follow any of this stuff to a T, it would all be right. But the problem is, if you read something from Gary Vee, I'm just giving examples because the books are facing out. Something from Gary Vee that doesn't line up with something that Dan said, and you just read both of those books, and it's like, oh shoot, what do I actually do? Gary and Dan are both really smart, but what do I even do? Because they disagree with each other. For me, it started to make my brain go, and I wouldn't actually take action. So I've adopted two things. And both programs had said that it was going to work very well together, and I believe this as well. But I have ACQ right here that I just follow to a T, everything that they say. And then in terms of leadership, KPIs, scorecards, organizational charts, management, and just the overall people organization, we follow EOS. So ACQ and EOS are the two things that we're just on right now. And everything else, I'm okay with just rejecting at this time. So people say, oh, well, you could do this. Yeah, it could work. But if I do that and I start listening to that, I might start listening to other things, and then I might start questioning the process that I'm on right now. And when you question the process, it doesn't work. So those are the lessons for today. It was a really big day. It's so awesome when you just sit in a tank top and just work all day. You get so much done. So that was my Friday. It's Friday night. It is 9:30, and I am getting a bit disgruntled because of how late it is. So I'm going to go to bed after I do a bit of mobility. And hopefully not stress out too much about this run tomorrow, because I've been thinking about it for a couple of days. Weird. Haven't thought about a run like this, other than a race. Have never thought about a training run like this before. So excited. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll let you know how it goes. Peace.